Hey, just a quick video for today. I know I'm like really late, like almost cutting into the next day at this point. I've been dealing with a lot of self-loading and stuff, and it makes me like physically sick sometimes. I haven't had much motivation to continue. I've still been waiting to hear back from Play Asia, and I'm really bummed that it seems like I did not get the partnership simply because it would be so great for me to have that in terms of having new content that people actually want to watch. I know things have been kind of low-key lately. I might actually have to take another break from recording for a while if things don't improve for me. If I keep having days like this, then it's probably better that I don't stress myself out even more by worrying about videos. But the reason I came back to this, there's a couple reasons. The first one was that they fixed the problem with the enemies having bullshit skills. It really only happens on insane mode on certain levels, and even then it's very isolated, and it happens a lot in expedition mode, which you're not really supposed to solo anyway, so it doesn't even matter too much there if you have other people covering you. The other reason is that obviously it was on vacation. I did not have access to my computer. I was using my friend CJ's computer, and you know, it's his computer. He comes back from work and he wants to play games. I can't be on there all the time, and there's also the issue of their internet being throttled all the time. So I played this a lot simply because it was something that I could play, you know, when the computer was not available. Actually, during vacation, I made a lot of progress on this. Oops, I didn't mean to go into multiplayer. As you can see, I level broke SSX, which took quite a while. It starts to get really grindy at this point. This game kind of reminds me of DFO during long content droughts, where it's just like you grind for a really long time because there's not much else to do, and that's kind of how this is. It feels like they added a whole extra 40 levels, but the grind to level up even once is crazy. So I don't know how much farther I'm going to take it, but what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just do a chill run today to not stress myself out. Actually, let me show my gear before I start. Now, I actually did not have this weapon until a couple days ago. What they did is they did an event where if you bought SSX and you had her leveled up to 60, there were a variety of rewards that they gave you, which is something that I was definitely not expecting. I was actually about to start grinding for a dark weapon like at that exact moment, because I only hit level 60 like last week. But they gave you, it's kind of like if you play DFO. I know some of you are DFO players. It's very similar to the events that they do on that for when they have new characters or new subclasses and stuff like that, or a second awakening, or they give you a bunch of, you know, free stuff for leveling up the character. But what was different here is that it was cumulative, which means that like I just already had the character at level 60 by the time that they put the server up for maintenance. So it just gave me all the rewards right away, which I guess is because you can't really make characters in this game per se. You unlock them just like most MOBAs or, you know, big multiplayer games and stuff like that. You can't actually make a multiple of a character. There's no subclasses or anything, so they just gave me all this stuff. So what I had been doing was working on maxing this out, and I didn't do much today because of just how shitty I was feeling. But right now I just need to get this final upgrade. I have this, which is an ice weapon, which is actually pretty nice for some bosses. It kind of turns you into a support class, so to speak, because you can freeze the boss pretty often. I have level 3 attribute on it, so it freezes pretty often. Now you can see the abilities on it are pretty sweet. Like I've got the aerial attacks inflict 33% extra damage, and I have a defense ignore as well. This capture card is going, by the way. I apologize for the frame rate stuttering. I might actually try to do a small fundraiser to get the capture card that was offered to me from a friend on Twitch, because this one is very unreliable. I already had to knock my input down, my video output down to 720p just to get it to pick up the video signal at all. It's I don't know what's up with this card. It was given to me by a friend, and he doesn't want it anymore. He's upgraded, and I can honestly see why he has. When it works, but it's very unstable. And with this game, since it's an online game, I can't actually automatically upload it to my YouTube account. I have to put it on a thumb drive. I have to put it on a thumb drive and then upload it from a computer because you can't. I don't think you can link a YouTube account. I don't think you can link a PSN account to different So this means that I probably won't be doing much console stuff until I can get a new capture card, because I'm already stressing myself out a lot over this channel. I need to stop that. I need to stop self-loading and stuff. So hopefully I can get that new capture card soon. I only need like 50 bucks for it, so should have that. Maybe when I'm not having a bad day like today, I would work on trying to get that funded. So I'm just going to speedrun this. I don't really care about the drops. I just wanted to put up something for today. I actually left my PS4 mic at home when I went on vacation, and none of them had one. I know that a couple firmware updates ago, a lot of third-party mics just stopped working built-in recording. So I actually could not do any mic commentary for this game at all. And I know that this is honestly not one of the more popular games that I cover, so I just decided to just say, you know, screw it, get mic commentary. I remember I had a third-party mic back when my PC was in the shop, and they did a firmware update, and then it just magically stopped working. So I had to travel to GameStop and get another one. I'm playing really bad right now. You can tell how just stressed I've been today. I don't care. My gear is also very unoptimized, so I don't really, I do good damage, because my weapons are optimized, but my armor is pretty crap. It's kind of like patchwork. This is one of the more popular levels to farm on because of just how quick it is. Really light on gimmicks and stuff like that, so you go through it relatively easy. Although there's runs like this where you just kind of don't do well. So I'm probably going to take a death here. It's whatever. Not my usual try-hard. I just kind of just wanted to play this. I also don't have Fury, which is pretty bad. This game has some very odd frame rate problems. Compared to a game like DFO, this doesn't really have that much going on, but it runs really poorly sometimes. When you're playing this in multiplayer, the frame rate being 60 FPS is basically a suggestion. It's like not something that's consistent or reliable at all. So I'll explain a couple things about how I'm breaking the bosses all the enemies that are super armored, how I'm breaking their guards, or their super armor, very fast, or very often. What they did is, I guess this is during the time when I was not playing this game, they added a level 3, or a 3rd level, to her jump cancel, which puts out that orb. The orb by itself is actually not that very useful. The little ring, sonic ring or whatever it is. What it seems to do is it seems to break their guard way more often than it ever did before. Like, I've actually juggled bosses for like a couple health bars just by jumping on them. It's kind of turned it into like a straight up enemy step from like Bayonetta or something. I guess they wanted to give her some buffs because in some modes of this game she's very lacking. She really does not have good crowd control. Her combo ability is amazing, as you've seen me play this character numerous times throughout her progression. But she has very piss poor crowd control. The only thing she can really do is hope that things line up, and you can use her up and triangle. That's about as much crowd control as you have. Her down and triangle actually does do good crowd control, but you have to charge it up, and that can kind of be very dangerous depending on how good your armor is. Most of the people that play this are hardcore. I don't know if they're whales or if they just play a lot. You can actually level up your armor without having to spend real money in this game, because there are no failures. The only failures are when you try to awaken a weapon, and you can actually use the in-game achievement system to get one of the little scrolls that makes it so your awakening is 100%. So it's like not like DFO, the videos you see of people taking down raid bosses with like the square string. Like, in that game it usually means that that person spent like hundreds of dollars, or they had like luck on par with like winning the lottery or something to get a weapon like that. Here you can, everyone can get a weapon like that. It's a matter of how dedicated you are, and it is quite a bit of a grind to get the materials that you need. You can do time mode to get your equipment, but you can only do that 3 times a day, so it's kind of time gated. I actually spent the better part of last week maxing out this weapon. So what the dark weapon has is it has a 12% chance to break the foe's super armor using regular attacks, which I assume stacks with her ladder jump too, because I think that's considered a regular attack. But what they did is they added a buff for her, where her 3rd and 4th attacks, or actually her 2nd and 3rd attacks in her square string and her up and square, if you let them complete the animation all the way and you don't cancel it, it will put out a sonic ring, and I think that like actually procs it. So what I've noticed, I'm breaking their super armor like ridiculously fast. I wonder if you can even like get a second instance of that or something. I don't know how much about the how the gear system works, but the rest of my stuff is all just I guess you could call it patchwork. It's kind of like when you play DFO and you just have like random chronicle pieces and stuff for your exorcism. That's kind of what I have going on here. I have this, which is basically crap, but it increases the loot drop rate by 44%. And I seem to have noticed a difference. I do seem to get the rare equipment boxes more often. When I get a better set, then maybe I'll replace it. But for now, I just keep this here. Hopefully as I play more Expedition mode, which is kind of a crapshoot because I have a hard time connecting to people in this game to begin with. I guess mostly because there's not many American people or anyone outside of Asia in general playing this at all. I think there's Grow870 and myself are the only ones that play this regularly, and I quit for several months, so it can be hard to get into a game at all, but when you do tend to get pretty good gear. So that's my update for this. Like I said, I'm sorry I did not have any mic commentary for like the week or so that I was just playing this almost exclusively on the channel. I forgot my mic, and I didn't want to mess with my friend's mic to commentate this game, because this game, DFO is a small community. There's not that many people that upload DFO content regularly that speak fluent English, but this game is even smaller, and that's mostly because it's only been in English for a few months, and they did not publicize it at all. They also did not put it on any PSN aside from the Asian PSN, so you have to make a PSN account. I think you can only do this on the Taiwanese one, so there's like no community at all. So I kind of felt like commentary is kind of pointless anyway, because It's not too accessible. It's PS4 exclusive. You have to make a Taiwanese account, which is an account that most people don't have much of a use for. When I first started playing this, I was on a Hong Kong account, and you know, Hong Kong accounts are actually pretty useful for Japanese imports because most of the time they're cheaper there, and you can also get the Asian versions in English. I think in most cases, I think you can get Gundam Breaker 3 off there and stuff like that. Anyway, that's what's going on. I just wanted to take it easy today because of all the stress I've had and stuff. What tomorrow is going to be is I'll probably upload my progress on Dodonpachi Resurrection. I had to reschedule the giveaway because I was just not in the mental state or capacity to really do it. But if you guys are interested, there are 8 Blood Alloy Reborn keys. I'll try to get out some footage for that later this week. Probably after I do that is when the giveaway will happen. And I also have some Humble Bundle keys too, but I want to go through the Blood Ally keys first, so let me get to that as soon as I can. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.